Alright guys, let's start us off with an S tier. Warriors are both amazing in PvE and PvP. In PvE, they're the best tanks, they're the best DPS. You cannot go wrong. In PvP, if you have dispels and heals, if you're in a group, you're going to excel. If you're solo, you might struggle, you might get kited. Take that in mind in open world. Leveling, it's not awful. It could be 1 out of 5, but group leveling is actually really good, and warriors are great tanks and great DPS, so find a group. Rogues are okay in PvE, they're on the downswing in private servers, but they're still really good. PvP, they are the best in open world combat, they can stun lock people, it's amazing. In group settings, pre-mades, they might struggle a little bit, but in open world, if that's what you want to do, rogues are your class. Leveling, pretty mediocre, kind of average, can't really heal themselves, do a lot of damage, fast time to kill, but a lot of downtime in between clears. Mages, another S tier class. PvE, they are great in all tiers, and by max you'll be stacking mages in your group. PvP, not only are they amazing in both world and pre-made PvP, they have one of the most overloaded kits. They can do instant cast, they can AoE, and generally they have a great kit for outplaying your opponent. Leveling is sleeper good, so they have utility spells such as Conjure Food, Conjure Water, and Teleport that makes it just an easy experience. Warlocks struggle a little bit in the other tiers, but your raid will always want to have 3 or 4 for the curses. By Nax, they have great numbers. In PvP, they are amazing. I don't think people give Warlocks enough credit in PvP. They have the ability with a fear on no DR to dot up a team and cause mayhem. Leveling is actually really good. Your Voidwalker pet is going to do a lot of the work for you. Life Tap and other utility spells make it a really efficient grind for Warlocks. Priests excel in just about every role. They're amazing in PvE, they have great throughput, and what they lack in utility, they'll make up for in numbers. In PvP, they actually have the ability to viably go damage or healing. They're great healing in pre-mades, and their damage and healing and survivability in Shadow is unparalleled. Leveling, they're actually sleeper good. They have a great disc wand spec that has great time to kill, you have healing, and your mana is efficient. Hunters, not amazing in PvE. We do need them for tranks, for kiting, for utility, but you're not going to pull great numbers. In PvP, you have an amazing ability to kite melee classes and just generally outplay your opponents, but you have a dead zone that could cause some issues. Leveling, hunters are unparalleled. With their pet, and they are able to just chain through mobs and level up as quick as possible. Joanna, one of the fastest levelers in vanilla, played hunter. Paladins are one of the most useful classes to have in your raid. They provide blessings, specifically salvation, that you're going to need to stack Paladins in your group regardless. You'll find a spot if you want to do PvE. PvP, Paladins are the best defensive healer in the game. With freedom and bubbles, any team, any pre-made will want you. Leveling is another story, one of the worst in the game. Your time to kill is so low. You run out of mana so often. Find a group, find an instance, heal. Shamans, like Paladins, are one of the most useful classes in the game. You need their totems for raids, you need to be stacking Shamans in raids. Wind Fury, probably the best buff in the game. You'll find a spot if you're a Shaman. PvP, it's pretty average. They don't do anything great, they don't do anything terribly. Frost Shock is the best utility slow in the game. Leveling is pretty awful. It's not as bad as some other classes, but it's just rough. Druids are average in PvE. They can make great off tanks in Feral. Resto is useful for Innervate, but probably the worst throughput healer. PvP, they are amazing flag runners. They are amazing in pre-mades. I would not do solo Druid play in PvP in the open world, but they can outplay their opponent. They have an overloaded kit. Leveling, they are sleeper OP. They have great tools and utility for leveling, and some of the fastest beta levelers have been Druids. From top to bottom, this list mirrors what you're going to have class stacking wise in your group in the ideal raid composition. You will bring enough Shamans and Paladins for their blessings and totems. However, you will only probably bring 2 Druids, maybe 3 Warlocks, and only 2 Hunters. However, everything on this list has great utility. Numbers aren't everything, and if you are great at your class, you show up, you get your buffs, you're going to get a raid spot, no problem. Pick what class you think is the most fun in PvE. The S tiers are going to thrive in any situation, whether it's pre-mades or solo. Warriors are going to need a group. Rogues are going to need to be playing solo. Hunters have the dead zone, and that could be an issue. Druids and priests have a lot of flexibility, and paladins and shamans unfortunately lack the flexibility of their playstyle to put them higher on the tier. Though everything can be played to a great ability, and you can excel in anything on this list. If you're new to the game, definitely focus on hunters and druids. They're going to be the smoothest leveling experience. Warlock and mages have great utility, and priests are better than expected. The rest, you're going to have a rough time. I highly recommend finding an instance group. I also highly recommend not to pick your class based on the leveling experience. Use the other metrics. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, and post your thoughts in the comments.